Some good news, some bad news. So, good news, the United States currently ranks 4th among all nations in per capita vaccine doses administered. That puts us behind some other countries, including the UK, but ahead of some countries like Germany and Japan that one might have expected, considering how they've done so much better in general on dealing with the pandemic, that they'd be ahead of us here. So we're doing pretty well in that respect. In terms of the pace, so if we were to continue the way we're going right now by, like making Florida's elderly line up overnight, it would take 10 years to vaccinate every American. That's not good enough. Now, it's not going to continue at this pace. Just as of this morning, my wife alerted me to the fact that the AstraZeneca vaccine was approved by the UK. Maybe that'll happen in the US soon. We're going to have more distribution of Moderna. The Pfizer vaccine is going to be produced at higher rates. So we're not going to proceed at the pace we're at. But if we were to, it would be an absolute disaster.
Yeah. Well, there's another part of it, too. Once these other vaccines get put out there, or at least approved and I guess distributed here, we got to make sure this is just like a thing I heard because it's obvious, but I think people would maybe miss this. People have to not mix them up either. Like if you start on the AstraZeneca, you can't go to the Moderna or vice versa. Yeah. So, and who knows what, again, this is a part of the organization of it though, because there's supposed to be these two doses and the second one comes 3 weeks after. So even in that 3 week span, we got to make sure people are organized up to go back for the correct one. Because maybe in that span, something changes or something gets reintroduced and someone says, oh, yeah, this one, the next one's available. I'm going to go for that one. It doesn't really work that way. So
the doctor should hopefully be coordinating that return visit.
How much have we coordinated the primary visit,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, hopefully people are getting it because, again, remember, the protection that you get from the first dose is not nearly as high as with the 2. So we definitely need to make sure that people get that. The pace, not great. And, I wanted to update you on, at what's it look like out there in the pandemic, because we give you news about the vaccines, but I do not want to leave people with the impression that, oh, good, the pandemic's old news. It's last year's news. Right now, hospitals in LA County are treating COVID-19 patients in gift shops.
Jesus.
So I'm not a doctor or whatever, but I would imagine that's not a good sign, that when you have to clear out the Mars bars and the elephant stuffed animals and put COVID patients there, that's not a good sign. By the way, 94% of the hospitals in the county that receive patients in ambulances were apparently forced recently to divert some due to spacing issues, and some patients didn't leave ambulances for up to 8 hours so they could be treated inside the vehicle, which is understandable because when your only option is to put people in gift shops, the inside of an ambulance suddenly doesn't start to look that bad. But that's the state in LA County. Over was Christmas Eve, I think it was. Our county alone was losing one person to COVID every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So not well.
So for the people who think this, I know there's like the talkers that say it, that California is this bastion of libs that are huddled up in their homes and they're idiots following these COVID rules and they threw out their guns. None of that's true. There's a reason why there's this explosion. People have traveled, people walk around without masks, people wear their masks incorrectly, people think it's over, people go, already got it. California is just another state of Americans that think the way Americans think because we buy into it and we're tired of being at home. That's the way it works. So just this explosion in LA County, no one then goes, man, look at LA County. Those conservatives out there aren't following mask rules. No, it's people that don't follow mask rules. Just when you walk outside, just look around. There's tons of them, no matter where you are.
Yeah, I have a park nearby. The compliance rate, not great. Sometimes you see people in them, but sometimes not. Like you would hope that in LA we'd take it more seriously. Not necessarily. And like we're focusing a little bit here on LA, but if you look nationally, yesterday, there were 3,283 deaths reported. And that's with holiday disruptions and delays and states not fully doing it. The numbers are still that high with bad data. We'll get filled in later, but I can only imagine what the next few weeks after all of this Christmas travel, record levels of travel since the pandemic began. Even after, we already saw what happened with Thanksgiving travel. Like we had that, all the warnings, the cases start skyrocketing, and then a lot of people were like, no, I'm still going to do it. So we tried, but it's not looking great.